Hello co-community, hello YouTube, it's GB Pirate here again with the Worldbuilders Community Mapping Competition 2026. In this video, I'm reviewing the procedures and requirements document for anyone participating. So that's mappers and also judges. Section 4, if you're just a judge, you can jump to that now. I'll have that time-stamped or chaptered in the video below. Yeah, if you're submitting a map, especially for the first time, definitely listen along, or if you don't like my voice or whatever, or you prefer to read, go read the document. It's all linked below in the bio, etc., 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 or in the video description. So let's go. Procedures and requirements for the Worldbuilders Community Mapping Competition. Details on how to submit your map, the roles of judges, the feedback and update process, and other miscellaneous information. To prospective entrants, please read this document carefully before you submit your map and watch the accompanying video, if you like. You don't have to. Judges should review Section 4, but things will be generally straightforward with specific details coming closer towards the end of the competition, if necessary. I feel like we've done this rodeo 2 times now, so it's kind of... There's details, but like, if you've done it before, it'll be kind of the same thing. Please remember that the map competition calls for competitive, quick match worthy maps. Consult the style guide, which I will link here for your convenience, for specifics related to maps themselves. So, Section 1, Map Requirements. Listed below are the minimum requirements for a submission. The more a map is finished by the end of the submission period, April 5th, the better and more actionable feedback you'll receive in the first feedback period. The minimum requirements are A. Territory layout. You need some territory on your map. B. Indestructible or important flow elements such as rocks, hedges, buildings, high walls, and height map painting. Especially if I want to have a big hill here, there can be a cliff here. Let us know in the territory map. Player count and map size. All player counts are allowed, 1v1 to 4 versus 4. Core area, playable area, and terrain size determined. That's kind of a given, but you also want to be generally confident in what these are going to be. Because you're laying out basic elements like where the HQs go, etc., etc. You want elements like green cover, which tiles you want to use, and splat and strip component textures, and messages, which are the actual messaging, the message kind of entity thing in the editor. You can kind of point to where you're kind of essentially leaving notes for yourself stamped in the area where you're going to put them. This is something for you, something for me if you want me to check out your map or provide feedback. But totally not messages, encouraged, not required. There should be some indication of how the map will create distinct regions and or what they are intended to be. So it's not like the whole map is a desert. It's the whole map is a desert, but there's a fuel refinery over here. There's a little village over here. There's a little oasis over here. It's a rockier area in this part, or there's a slope up to, in the out of bounds area, there's a big mountain, so this area is a bit sloped and rockier. Something to be like, it's just flat and grass, or flat and sand. It should be more than just flat and sand. Note that the above elements can be changed in the process of development. There is no need to adhere to an element in your map that you no longer desire. Section 2, Uploading Maps, Discord, and the Submission Period. The procedure to submit a map works as follows. 1. Upload your map to the Steam Workshop. Please be sure to have a map description ready for your work by the end of the submission period on 5th of April. Be sure to place the competition logo in the preview image of your mod. You can find the logos with transparent backgrounds in the competition assets folder, and that is also the thing you see here in the bottom right hand of your screen, or this one in the top. Those are your 2 choices. Step 2, message me directly via Discord DM and provide the following information. The player count of your map, the terrain size, playable area, and approximate core area, a resource layout like a tactical map image, and then distinct regions, kind of maybe a text description, or even in another screenshot of your tactical map, you're kind of lining out where things are. Just some more information I can post in your maps channel when it first gets started, so players have an idea of what's happening, and it's not just, oh, it's another map, and I have to like click on the preview image, or if there's nothing on the workshop page, you actually have to go and download and play it. Draw people's attention in when they see it on Discord, when they're just scrolling on by. Okay, that's the whole point of kind of these actual details here. Step 3, I will create a channel for your map in the Worldbuilders. God. GB Pirate, myself, will create a channel for your map in the Worldbuilders Discord. Also, after I post, feel free to post additional content like background details or information like images, historical battles, or whatever inspired your map. GB Pirate, myself, will make a post in the channel I've yet to create, which will just list all the submissions. And then number 4, there'll be rolling feedback and updates during the remainder of the submission period. Use your map channel to post updates, screenshots, ask for recommendations, etc. Other mappers, players, content creators, and participating Relic staff are welcome to provide feedback to your map in the channel. Update the map as you please until April 5th, 2026. Section 3, feedback periods, scoring, and the winners. The feedback and iteration periods last from the April 6th to June 19th. So each round of feedback and iteration will consist of 2 4-week periods and 1 3-week period after the submission deadline of April 4th. And then there's that one. Then the third round is 3 weeks. The first week of this 4-week period or 3-week period is the judge feedback period. Updating maps is paused for that week so that engaged community members and judges can take their time on the same version of the map. Subsequent weeks, either 3 weeks or 2 weeks, are the iteration periods. Mappers should adjust their maps to work towards their completion and or follow up on feedback received during the judge feedback week. And then after 3 rounds of feedback and iteration, we get to the scoring period. After the designated feedback and iteration periods, judges will have a week to score maps. Map updates cannot be made after the 19th of June in preparation for the scoring period. And finally, the winners will be announced. Depending on the number of maps, judges, and schedules, it may take 1 to 2 weeks for scores to be collected and the winners announced. I will then message prize winners to distribute winnings. I think I forgot to delete this. I might have a code for code 3. I might have 2 codes to give away. And that's optional, but I'll have to double check this. This may be fake news. Sorry. Section 4, judges and scoring. So if you're a judge and you're wanting to just hear this part, you're in the right part. This is exactly for you here. So, composition. The judges for the competition can be, you can be any of these things, or multiple. Judges for the competition can be trusted community members, experienced players, content creators, professional artists and level designers, from Relic, and map entrants, like mappers. Ultimately appointed by GB Pirate, anyone interested in being a judge can ask me via DM on Discord. I'm not mean, but I don't just want to send out a random Google form to random people I don't know and then collect the scores. I want to have some vetting. And there's also a judge chat where the judges, not the mappers themselves, but the judges can chat about things. It's mostly an announcement channel just for the judges, but anyway, I'll stop rambling now. When signing up to be a judge, I'll have a form to sign up if you're a judge. You'll be asked which categories of maps you'd like to judge. If you're only interested in 1v1, you won't be asked to judge 4v4 maps. Judge signups will take place via Google Forms. Responsibilities as a judge. Judges should be able to provide feedback during 2 feedback periods. That's April 6th through 12th, May 4th through 10th, or June 1st through 7th. Being a judge gives your words extra weight when providing feedback thanks to the Discord rule. Feedback is welcome and ad hoc during the submission window, which ends on April 5th, but it is expected during the designated feedback periods. Maps are allowed to be submitted in early stages, so feedback at any time is appreciated. If you see a map that's really bare bones and you have something to say that's constructive, don't be a bully, but something constructive, go ahead and say it. As a judge, you must be available in the scoring period. That's June 22nd through the 28th. In the previous competitions, I've been a bit... Well, the judges have been too lenient. Yeah, sorry, this is true, yeah. So, judges, you've been a little too nice at times. There are maps that deserve a score in the 50s or 60s, but generally the minimum score should be around 50. 50 is like a passing mark. So theoretically, every map that has made it into the scoring period should receive a 50. But even though there was a really tight spread of scores in the end, like I think Wadi Darna got an 87% and Bologna got like an 80.8%, and that's like first through sixth place. That's like 6% difference. I felt like there could have been more spread there, and there were maps that were a little inflated as well. So scoring maps, another responsibility. So scoring will be practically identical to the previous competitions. Each judge assigns a score to all entries in the categories they've selected. A map's final score is the average value assigned from every judge. The map with the highest average score is the winner, and successive runners-up have the next highest score. The potential maximum of earned points correlates directly to the number of judges that have scored the map, thus allowing for a flexible number of judges per category. And just a quick note, the rubric is approximately 60% gameplay and 40% art. If something comes up, I get it, I'm asking you to be available for a specific week 7 or 8 months from now. And also like the other weeks, but that's a bit more flexible. But for whatever reason, if you're no longer able to score maps, or you want to change which categories you'd like to score, or some other disruption like, I thought I could do all 3 feedback periods, but actually I can only do this one. The other 2 are still maybes. Let me know. Like as soon as possible. I'd like to have you participate. Scoring maps is the most important. But also getting that feedback, especially that early feedback, is crucial. That's kind of what the whole process is about. Competition entrants as judges. So this time around, because mappers will be serving as judges too, except for their own maps, they're not scoring their own work. Okay, I just have to read this and stop rambling. So mappers will not score their own maps, but their numbers will help reduce the impact of outliers in the final tabulation of scores. Can a community judge submit a map too? Do you want to be a judge? Yes, you can submit maps to the competition just like anyone else. And that being said, I don't have a spiel prepared for like fair play or fair judging, but if there's something fishy going on, like a really good map gets a really low score, I'd be like, that's might be unethical. What's going on? I don't want to, but I might have to throw out scores. But I'm assuming that even there's a lot of judges, but still a relatively small amount of people that there's enough that we all sort of know each other, or at least I know you to some degree. I'm expecting fair play, but if anything happens, we'll see, but hopefully not. So here are some additional rules, reminders, and things to consider. There's a lot here. Only 11, though. Okay, yeah. So, 1. Maximum of 2 maps per person. All player counts are allowed. Maps should be original creations, not official Co-1 or Co-2 remakes, not community Co-1 or Co-2 remakes, not an edited version of a single-player Co-3 map. If it's already published to the Co-3 workshop, not before than June 1st, 2025. Significant overhauls may be required. Be prepared to make dramatic changes, especially if you have limited experience in mapping. More than one person can co-create a map, but the co-creators must be shared with GB Pirate when the map is submitted, or whenever that second person comes along and decides to be that co-creator with you, which I guess could theoretically happen. But let me know as soon as possible. As soon as it happens, really. A co-creator counts towards the person's 2-map limit, and cash awards will be sent to one individual. You must decide amongst yourselves how the prize will be split. Number 5, modern map description. Map descriptions are required, and that's when you're in the game screen going to select a map, and you have the tiles of each map, they have a little description in the lower right-hand corner. That's a map description. Mod descriptions are encouraged, so when you update your map, you don't have to rewrite the mod description. For details on these, see last year's... this might be false. I'll look into this, or I'll write out what the deal is here, what the difference is, or send a link, something. Custom mini-maps are not required. Foolish Victory / Viceroy has created a guide for creating your own custom mini-map published on Steam, and Toba, who created Gothic Line, hopefully comes back for this competition too, published his own guide on Steam too. I think this one uses GIMP, and Viceroy's uses Adobe Photoshop. Please put the competition logo in your mod's preview image for maximum workshop visibility. Again, that's this little guy you see down in your right hand corner, or the logo up here at the top, just to create a unified front on the Steam Workshop. Please keep map-specific feedback to the specific channel in the Worldbuilders Discord. Mappers are more than welcome to post updates in the workshop or other Discords, but having all the information in the specific channel will help with the feedback process, and kind of give a bit of a timeline as well to see progress. If that's something you like personally or want to share with other people in the community, they can kind of have a look through that channel and see how your map changed over time. Entries that move onto the final scoring period will be asked to delete and re-upload to the workshop. Like I said in my announcement video, the feasibility of this is to be determined, but I do like the idea of having a unified front on the workshop when the time comes, just to add a little extra hype. But again, it might be a bit messy with other content creators, YouTube videos and links and things like that. But I will once again have a Steam collection of all of the maps submitted for the competition. So theoretically, that link shouldn't change, even if each individual map link would change. Number 10 here. It's probably one of the most important points. The score of each judge will be weighted equally when calculating a map's final score. No judge will have their score count more than others. There may be an exception for Relic's votes. We had a conversation about this. I think it's most likely not, but if there's something like a bunch of judges drop out and it's like Will has one vote and then there's like two community mappers and they like give a really high score, but I don't think it's exactly the right. We'll see. Like I said, scores were really inflated the last competition, and in the last two competitions they've been really high, and Will did serve as a kind of, I think, more realistic, a bit of a moderating force to a certain degree. Not that he was being unfair, but that the community was a bit more, I want to say happy, but that's not the right word. The community was a bit more forgiving. So yeah, probably not, but like I said, maybe an exception. My rambling. But yeah, if results are for some reason, whatever, compromised, I might have to pull some strings. And once again, probably the most important thing here to remember is that Relic has the final say in deciding which maps from the competition, if any, will be incorporated into Company of Heroes 3 in the future. And okay, that's all, folks. Thank you for reading this with me, following along, listening along. So yeah, if you have any questions, DM me on Discord. I'm really looking forward to the competition this year. We've got a huge prize pool. We have a lot of mappers that have been asking me, bugging me for months, when's the next competition? When's the next competition? When can I, yada, yada, yada. So it is very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great 7-8 months. Like I said, July is a 7th month, but it's 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, who knows. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, subscribe here for updates if you want a more casual, just to see how progress goes. Join the Discord for if you're a mapper or a judge. This is where you need to be. If you kind of want to help test maps or just see what's going on and kind of be a bit of a lurker, you're more than welcome to join too. It's a public Discord. It's a community Discord. Come hang out, maybe share an occasional meme or two or something. Whatever. Anyway, thank you, and I will see you on future Co3 Battlefields. Take care, everyone.